This is your one and only 𝐹iReSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another exciting episode of This Old Longhouse, a new series where we rebuild the structures that are randomly generated when you create your map. In the last episode, we repaired and updated 2 longhouses. In this episode, we're going to repair this house that you see right here and this house right here. And if we have time, we will repair this little garden area. So we're going to start off with continuing our road. We want our road to go down here and around to the front door of this house, but this house has got absolutely terrible placement. We're going to need to dig out and do a little bit of landscaping. So we've created a much more gentle slope going down to this house. However, I'm not sure I like the slope, and I think we're going to have to get a little bit more creative with what we got going on here. I also leveled it off around here as well, so we got a nice little path over to the door here to enter the chicken pen. So what we've done is we've added a set of stairs to the hill here in order to create a much more easier path up and down the steep hill, and we've created a small little railing around the edge as well that has a similar theme to our chicken coop in order to create cohesiveness with the overall design. Now it's time to get to work repairing all of the damage that has been done on this small house and clearing out the inside. As you can see, this one is pretty bad compared to the other ones that we've looked at and repaired. The whole side of the roof is missing from this one, and it is going to need a lot of work. All right, we've completed the outer shell renovations to this house. We went for a much more modern look on this one. We upgraded the roof to get rid of that old thatch and add in a brand new wooden roof. We've added a little bit of verticality to the build by adding in these windows here on the sides, but they do serve a function. If we walk around this way, you can see that this side is open for a chimney to vent smoke. Overall, I like the way that the outer shell of this build has come together. It looks really good from up here on the hill. And now it is time to build the inside. We also upgraded the floor of this to stone, and we put a little window here in the back so that you could take a look back out into the forest. This longhouse is very limited in space, and we're about to take up some of that space by building a fireplace here underneath our chimney. But I have no doubt we can make this build nice and cozy. All right, and after a little bit of work, we managed to get this place all cozied up. There's not a lot of room in here, but this build does come with a decent amount of storage. So we got a rug as you're walking in just to kind of break up the gray on the floor a little bit. There's a very small single person table because that's all this house can really hold is a single person. So you can see they got their nice little table right beside the fire, small stool to set beside the fire and cook. The bed is kind of crammed back in here. You have to crawl into the bed from the foot of the bed, but that is okay. And then we have our little tiny bit of storage area here for our valuables. Other than that, that's about it. As you can see, when it becomes nighttime, the place looks just as cozy. Now, continuing on to our next house, we are just going to take our path and run our path right over here to this house. It's nice, it's flat, it's already good to go. And we're just gonna run it right into the front of the house like so, and kind of just even it up a little bit and make a nice smooth path right across over to the other house like so. That looks really nice. This house is also in extreme disrepair and is going to need a lot of improvements. We're going to start with just ripping off the roof of this thing because there isn't much roof left, and because of that we're just going to tear the roof completely off. Now, nature has started to grow inside of this thing as well, so we're gonna have to go through and clear out nature and get that grass out of here. We don't want any grass inside of our build, so we're just gonna kind of mow around the edge here and get all the grass away from it. This build is nice, but this is another single person home, and we want to turn this into a family home. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna knock out these walls here and add an extension onto the side of the house. We're going to start by extending the foundation out a little bit more, And this is going to give us a much larger floor space to work with. Alright, and after just a little bit of renovations, this once single person home has now become a multi-family home, complete with a chimney so that it can have a nice fire inside and a beautiful sloping wooden roof. And now it is time to decorate. And our final house is complete. So the outside has been decorated and filled in. We got an anvil out here so we can do some blacksmith work. There's a cart. Got some stone decorations. This side is all shrubbery. We added in a massive oak tree kind of as a centerpiece for all of the houses there. We can come down around the hill this way or go up our stairs there. And if we take a look inside, we have completed the inside with 2 beds, plenty of storage that also doubles as a nightstand, a barrel full of ale, and a small table for 2. We also have a little trunk design here with some gold on top of it and some additional seating. But the centerpiece to this home is this absolutely gorgeous fireplace design where you can sit here in your chair, do a little cooking, relax, check out your wolf skin rug on the floor, and just have a good time. Alright, now that we got a majority of the village complete, we have some gardening to do. There's a few gardens around here, or fenced off areas that look like they were once gardens. We got 2 there, and then we got some fence over here that I think I'm just going to get rid of. And then over here on the other side, I completely missed it before, but we have a small berry patch over here as well. So we're going to work on fixing this up, getting this stuff back into full gardening, get some gates on there, repair the fences, and get the garden back in order. So to start with, I want to do a little bit of additional landscaping. I feel like there should be a path through here leading into the gardens. There's some leftover wood here that looks like there was a storage spot for some wood, so we're going to fix that up as well. But we're going to start off with grabbing our path and just throwing some path down right here, getting rid of a little bit of this grass, something like this, come around through here and kind of just level this off like so, and then we can end the path right there. That's starting to look nice. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to get rid of the additional grass that's around here. We're going to go straight path. We're going to also delete all of this fence so that we can put in new fence. For the fencing for this first garden, we went for a much more rustic look, something that falls in line with the theme that we currently have going through the village. So we just took some logs and lined the exterior of our garden. Our garden is all planted, and this one is now complete. We got a nice little vegetable garden and herb garden going on here. It looks absolutely fantastic with the thistles and the flowers from the onions. Now on to our first berry patch. For this raspberry patch, we kept a similar theme to our fence design, but changed it up a little bit from this one just so everything isn't so bland and similar. It's still a very rustic design, however, it is slightly different from the previous one. We also planted some fresh raspberry bushes to fill out the rest of the garden, and that is pretty much all we're doing to this one. Now, last but not least, we have what appears to be another small raspberry patch over here, and we are going to fix this one up. We're going to do the same thing that we did before and just kind of extend our path over a little bit. I think I'm going to actually just kind of put the path all the way next to it like that, widen it a little bit until we get something like that. Now, I think for a change, I'm actually going to leave this fence, although I don't really like this fence, but I feel like we need to leave it somewhere in this village because it is the original fence that the original villagers used. And there we go. Now it has the fence that it originally had rebuilt to its full glory. Now all that is left is to replant some berry bushes inside the gardening area. And because we wanted a bit of a splash of color in this one, we mixed some blueberries in with the raspberries so we get a nice red and blue contrast. The next thing we are going to do is clean up this area here by removing the random fence that is sitting here and create what I assume was a small storage shed because we have some just uncovered wood sitting out in the weather. For the shed, we kept it relatively simple, just creating a small roof with a little bit of an overhang there just to keep the wood semi-dry. Doesn't need to be anything too crazy. just a nice little shed to store resources under. And with that, I think this village is relatively complete. I'm not sure what else needs to be done. I think it turned out relatively well. As we walk through it, you can see it looks absolutely gorgeous from the outside. All of the houses have individual designs inside and look completely different. We repaired the gardens, we did a bunch of landscaping, and I'm not sure what else there is to do. And with that, I think we are going to wrap it up there. If you enjoyed this series, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. And also consider commenting down below and hitting the like button so that I know you actually enjoy it and we'll do some more. All right, I want to give an absolutely massive shout out and thank you to my supporters on Patreon for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my League Crew Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.